You're in a coffee shop, the hum of voices, the clink of cups. Your phone sits there, her last message glowing on the screen. Hey, great meeting you. 4 words, but they feel like a puzzle. Did you say too much? Was she just being polite? Should you text back now or wait? Your mind, it's loud, racing, pulling you in 10 directions. The barista calls a name, not yours. A notification pings, not important, but your thoughts, they don't stop. What did she mean? Did you seem nervous? Should you have smiled more, said less? You're not alone in this. Every day we carry this noise, this weight, trying to get it right. Especially with her, the world feels relentless. A new message, a deadline at work, a friend's missed call, and her words still sitting there, unanswered. You want to say something, but what? Your mind spins, replaying the moment you met, her laugh, her eyes, the way she paused. Was it a sign or nothing at all? You're tired, not just from the day, but from this endless loop, overthinking, second-guessing, trying to crack the code. What if you didn't have to? What if 3 simple words could cut through it all? Not to fix you, not to win her, but to help you breathe, to find a moment of quiet in the chaos. 3 words, not a trick, not a tactic, but an anchor to steady you, to bring you back to what's real, clarity, presence, intention. They're not magic, they're not new, but they're enough to change how you move, how you speak, how you listen, how you live, not just with her, but with yourself. Stay with me. Let's walk through this. Slowly, because you don't need more noise. You need less. If you've ever felt your mind racing like that, leave a sign below. Not for me, not for fame, but for someone else who needs this pause, who needs a moment to breathe. Just like you. Let's start with clarity. You're at a networking event, people everywhere, voices overlapping. She's across the room. You've seen her before, maybe said hi once. Your heart picks up just a little. You want to talk to her, but your mind, it's already running. What do you say? Will she care? What if you freeze or sound dumb? You're standing there, drink in hand, and the noise, it's deafening. Not the room, but inside you. Every thought, a reason to stay still. Clarity is the opposite of that. It's not about finding the perfect line or knowing what she'll say back. It's about knowing what you mean, what you want in that moment. Not her answer, not her smile, but your own clear intent. You can't control her, you can't control the room, but you can control your words, your choice to act or not. That's what the Stoics knew. Focus on what's yours. Let go of the rest. So, you take a breath, you feel your feet on the ground, you let the noise fade, and you walk over, not with a script, not with a plan, but with clarity. You say, I'd like to talk with you, maybe over coffee? Simple, direct, true. She might say yes, she might say no. That's not the point. The point is, you spoke and your words matched your mind. No games, no guessing, just you, clear. Think about it. When was the last time you spoke like that? Not just to her, but to anyone. At work, with a friend, to yourself. When did you last say what you meant? Without a filter, without a mask. Clarity, it's not loud, it's not flashy. It's quiet, like a blade, cutting through the fog. Here's how you practice it. Next time you want to say something, to her, to anyone, pause. Ask yourself, what do I mean? Not what will they think? Not how do I win? Just what do I mean? Maybe you're texting her. Your thumb hovers over the send button. You've typed, then deleted 3 times. Stop. Breathe. What do you want to say? Not what's clever, not what's safe. What's true for you Maybe it's, I enjoyed meeting you, want to grab a drink Friday? Or maybe you don't text at all because you realize you don't need to. That's clarity too, knowing when to act and when to let go. Try this today in one conversation. Pause, find your intent and speak it. Not to impress, not to control, but to be clear. Notice what happens. Not in them, but in you. You'll feel lighter, like you've shed a layer of noise. Clarity. It's not just for her. It's for you. At work, when your boss asks for feedback, don't hedge. Don't overthink. Say what you see. Simply, with a friend, when they're venting, don't just nod. Say what you notice. I hear you. Sounds heavy. Even alone, when your mind starts spinning, ask, what's true right now? And listen. The answer is always simpler than the noise. Clarity. It's a practice, not a skill, not a trick, but a way to live. Less tangled, less heavy. Start small, one moment, one word, and watch how it grows. Now let's talk about presence. You're on a first date, a small table, dim lights. She's across from you, telling a story, something about a trip she took. But your mind, it's not there. You're thinking, is she having fun? Am I enough? Do I look nervous? You nod, you smile, but you're not here. You're in your head, planning your next move, worrying about the last one. Presence is the antidote. It's not about being charming or saying the right thing. It's about being here, right now, with her, not in the future, not in the past, just this moment. The Stoics said, the present is all you have. The future you can't hold, the past you can't change, but this second, this breath, it's yours. So, you lean in, you hear her words, not just the story, but her tone, the way her eyes light up when she talks about the ocean. You don't plan your reply. You don't need to. You ask, what was it about the ocean that stayed with you? And you listen, not to respond, but to HERR. She feels it, not because you're clever, but because you're there. When was the last time you listened like that? Not just to her, but to anyone? When did you last hear more than words? Presence, it's rare. In a world that's always rushing, always distracted, your phone buzzes, your mind wanders, but presence pulls you back. Here's how you try it. Next time you're with her, or anyone, put your phone away. Not just down, but away. Look at them. Not to stare, but to see. Notice one thing. Their voice, their hands, a pause. Let it anchor you. If your mind drifts, that's okay. Notice it and come back to her, to now. Maybe she's talking about her day. Don't jump in with advice. Don't think about what's next. Just listen. Maybe ask, what was that like for you? Or maybe say nothing. Silence is presence too. Try it outside of dates. At work, when a co-worker's stressed, don't fix it. Just hear them. With a friend, when they're excited. Don't one-up them. Share the moment. Even alone. Sit for 1 minute. Feel your breath. Hear the world. That's presence. It's not about her. It's about you. Living in the only moment that's real. Start today. One conversation. Be there. Not perfect, just present. You'll notice the world feels quieter. And so, do you? Finally, intention. You're dating her now. A few weeks in. You want to plan a weekend? Something simple, maybe a hike. But your mind, it's already at work. Will she like it? Is it too much? Too soon? Should you ask or just decide? You're stuck. Again, intention is the way out. It's not about being bold or taking charge. It's about knowing why, why you want this, why it matters to you, and acting from that place, not to impress, not to please, but to be deliberate. The Stoic said, virtue is in your actions, not in what others think. You can't control her reaction, but you can control your purpose. So you pose, you ask, what do I want for us? Maybe it's time together, away from the noise. Just you, her, the trail. You say, let's spend Saturday hiking, just us, clear, calm, open. She might say yes, or suggest something else. That's fine, because you acted with intention. You knew why you spoke, and that's enough. When did you last act like that? Not just with her, but anywhere. When did you last choose and know why? Intention. It's not loud, it's not forceful, it's quiet, grounded, like a tree, rooted. Here's how you practice it. Next time you want something, with her, at work, in life, ask, why do I want this? Not, will it work? Not, what will they say? Just, why? Maybe you want to ask her out. Why? Because you're curious about her? Then say it. I'd like to know you better. Dinner, Friday? Or maybe you want to say no to a friend, to a project. Why? Because your time matters. Then say, I can't this time, but thanks. Intention is freedom. It's choosing without fear. Try it today. One choice. Know your why. Act from there. Not for here. Not for them. For you. Notice how it feels. Like you're steady. Even when the world isn't. Intention carries into everything. At work, when you take on a task. Know why? Because it grows you or helps someone. With friends, when you show up. Know why? Because they matter. Alone, when you rest. Know why? Because you need it. Intention isn't rigid. It's not about control. It's about purpose. And purpose is light. Let's bring this into your day. These three words: clarity, presence, intention. They're not rules. They're not a system. They're just a way to live with less noise. Here's a challenge. Not a demand, just an idea. Try one word each day. Day 1, clarity. Before you text her, pause, ask, what do I mean? Then send or don't. But know why? Day 2, presence. In one conversation, listen, not to reply, but to hear. Notice their voice, their pause. Be there. Day 3, intention. Make one choice, big or small. Ask, why do I want this? Then act, not for approval, but for you. Try it or don't. But if you do, notice what changes. Not in her, not in them, but in you. You'll feel quieter, like the world isn't so heavy. These words, they work, not just with her, but everywhere. At work, when you're drowned in emails, clarity, what matters now? Presence, listen to the person, not the noise. Intention, act, because it's right. With friends, when they're pulling, you, clarity, know what you want. Presence, be with them, fully. Intention, choose to stay or walk away. Alone, when your mind won't stop. Clarity, what's true? Presence, feel this breath. Intention, rest because you choose to. This is how you live. Not louder, not bigger, but simpler, lighter, truer. Let's go back to that coffee shop. You're still there. Her message still on your screen. But now you're different. Not perfect, not fixed, just quieter. You take a breath. You feel your hands on the table. The noise, it's still there, but it's softer. You type, Hey, I'd like to see you again. Coffee this week? You hit send. Not because it's right, not because it'll work, but because it's clear you were present. When you wrote it, you had intention. When you sent it, she might reply, she might not. That's okay. Because you are okay. You smile, not for her, not for the world. For you, because you acted. And that is enough. You don't need to change. You don't need to win. Just notice. And maybe live a little keter. See you next time